Whether you are a cosplayer or just a general attendee without cosplaying at any convention, there are a few words that, for your first convention, you probably won't know what they are, and maybe even on to your second and third convention. So I decided to make this video where I'm going to be telling you guys a bunch of different words and phrases that you're going to hear at basically every convention that you should probably know. Alright, hey guys, what is up? It's Jay, and welcome to another cosplaying convention tips and tricks video. So, like I said, this is going to be a video of words that I think that every cosplayer or convention goer should know. At a convention, you're going to hear literally all of these words, and this is a collection of words that myself and Atlas have come up with. Number one is actually going to be something that you guys should already know, but this is going to be my example. So let's take cosplay or convention. Cosplay is I think it's portmanteau is the word, where you take two words and put them together. And you take like part of one word and part of another word and make a new word out of them. That's basically what that is. And the cos part is costume, unlike my name where the cos part is cosplay. But the cos part in cosplay is costume, and then the word play, obviously. So it's costume play. Basically, you're just dressing up and playing a character by wearing their costume. There you go. And obviously, if you've been to a convention before or you're planning to go to one, you know what a convention is. An event or gathering where like-minded people can meet up and do activities together. Basically, just a big event where you all get together. That's pretty much what a convention is. So I did bring up the cosplay one specifically because the next one is actually, it has to do with cosplay. So it was a kind of a good segue. And a lot of these kind of segue into the next one. So it kind of just, that's how I wrote them up. So, the next one is crossplay and gender bend. Now, a lot of people get these two mixed up completely, or at least, at the very least, they get crossplay wrong, like completely wrong. This is not crossplay. That is called gender bending. That is where you take a character and you change their gender to match whatever your gender is that you want to appear as. So, if you're a female and you want to cosplay Link, like in this example, you would make Link a female and cosplay a female version of Link. That is not crossplay. That is gender bending. You're bending the gender of the character. That's literally what it means. Crossplay would be if, like this. This is crossplay. A female cosplaying the male version of Link. So let's put it this way. Crossplay is whatever outward appearance you normally have of whatever gender you want to call yourself, whatever you are. If the character that you're cosplaying and you portray is a different gender while you're cosplaying them, so whatever gender you are, if you're presenting as a male character and you aren't male in real life, that is crossplay, regardless. Now, it does get confusing when you get characters who cross-dress, like Nagisa from Assassination Classroom and a few others. There are a lot of others out there. That's just the most prominent one right now. Those characters, it's a little more of a gray area because males will cosplay the male version of Nagisa, and females will generally be the ones doing the female version of Nagisa. So technically, it's still crossplay when a female does it. If a male does the female version of Nagisa, that is still not crossplay because Nagisa is still a male character being cosplayed by a male. So what that is that's just in general cross-dressing. That's just wearing women's clothing. That's literally all that is. So as you can see, some of these are like two words in one thing, mostly because they go together. So when they go together like that, I kind of just put them in one. So that's just how it's going to be. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. The next one is probably something you have already heard and might already know, but there's a chance you might not if you're very, very new to this, and that is fandom. You don't have to be a cosplayer or a convention goer to be in a fandom, but you're going to have to hear that word all the time. Especially if you're cosplaying, somebody else from the fandom is going to probably talk to you. So if you're wearing an Attack on Titan cosplay, there's a very good chance people from that fandom are going to be talking to you. So you probably need to know what fandom is. Tumblr is the most well-known place for fandoms to fan about everything. So if you're on there, you probably already have a good start on what a fandom is. I just thought I'd put this one out there. It's pretty easy. A fandom is just a collective of people who like something. So another segue one here that segues very good into the next one, which is fanboy or fangirl. Now, this is a little less common, but still, I see it all the time. People sometimes don't realize that they're doing this. They're like fangirling or something, or fanboying over something. People don't notice it when they do it sometimes. You make tons of fan art. You want to talk to every cosplayer and get every cosplayer's picture who is of that character or fandom. Things like that. You're just very excited about everything that has to do with either that series or that character or whatever it is you're fanning over. Basically, if you've ever seen the Squee girls, where they're all, in anime, it'd be like super high pitched and hearts in the eyes because the popular male student is walking by. That's pretty much fangirling. Just make that guy the series or character, and then those girls, the fandom. That's basically what fangirling and fanboying is doing that. So the next one is one of my personal favorites because I have done a lot of this, and that is photoshoots and gatherings. Now, there is differences between two types of photoshoots, and that is the private shoots and the public open event shoots. I'm not going to be talking about the private ones because you just pay someone and they take your picture. That has literally nothing to do with it. You don't have to do that. That's something you're probably never going to hear, so it doesn't really matter. The main ones are the photo shoots and gatherings. A lot of people use these two words interchangeably because they're basically the same thing. So I'm going to talk about them as if they're the exact same thing. And this is pretty much just a gathering. I mean, it's in the word, it's gathering, but photos do happen. If you would like, you can check out on the card up here. I do have a video on running photo shoots if you are interested in that. But that has kind of all the information about what a photo shoot is in the first place. So I'm kind of repeating myself here. It's basically a large gathering of fans of one series or one company or something. I have done them with Square Enix, so it's all of the Square Enix games. But then I've also done just Final Fantasy or just Kingdom Hearts or something like that. And that's totally fine. You can do whatever you want, honestly. As long as you promote it and let people know what's going on, people will show up. So long as it's popular, that is. If nobody cosplays from this thing that you're trying to photo shoot for, then you might as well just stop, because there's not going to be very many people, and you might as well just go and get like a paid thing and have people take your picture for you. But again, it's just a large gathering. That's all it is. But anyway, while everyone's there, there is going to be someone who's in charge, whether it's you or somebody else. Whoever started the thing online should be the one who is in charge. And you'll call on series or characters or something to go up for group pictures. And so let's take Kingdom Hearts, what I do, for example. So I used to host the Kingdom Hearts shoots at KomoriCon and SakuraCon. So what we would do is, like, the very first thing would be everybody who's there gets to go up. That's the very first and very last thing that we do, is a big group. So that way, if anybody came late and they missed the big group, they get in at the end too. But that way, if someone left early, they got to be in the first group. So it helps with everybody. If you come in after the first one and leave before the last one, then sorry, you're kind of out of luck. But we'll call up, like, all of the Sora cosplayers will go up and then get their picture taken. Then after them, all of the Rikus will go up or something, just each character. And then you'll get the pairings. You'll get the, you'll get good guy versus bad guy. You'll get boss fights. So Sora versus Xemnas, maybe. Something like that. And then those are what's going to be for the photo shoot part. And then the gathering is just everybody else just hanging out. But it's all one big event. Also, I will state, because you might want to know this, those are usually free. You do not have to pay to attend those events. And they're usually fan run. They're not run by the convention. So the convention can't say you can't go to that. So another segue one a little bit. This is something that's going to happen probably at the photoshoots or gatherings, but it could also happen just randomly, just walking around. And this will mostly happen to only cosplayers unless you're very well known. So, like, if I was bigger on YouTube, it probably happened more to me, but I'm not. So I'm very glad about that, actually. But I have seen other YouTubers, like at SoccerCon, I've seen a couple YouTubers who are really well known, and this does happen to them. So, yeah. This is the word glomp. A lot of people might not know what this means. People outside of the cosplay community have probably never heard this word before and probably would never have heard it in any type of conversation. But it's a word that was pretty much made up, I think, at conventions. I'm not 100% on that, so don't quote me there. It's basically a giant, enthusiastic hug, but it's deadly. It can actually break a lot of your stuff. So usually it's unwarranted and like out of the blue. Like someone will run up to you and you'll hear them running up to you and you'll turn around and they'll jump at you or something and try to hug you. That hasn't happened too much lately. It's a lot less than that. People have been a little more respectful lately. It just, people haven't been doing it that way, which is good. We want people to stop doing that. Please don't do that. Don't ever just jump on somebody unless you know them and you know that they're okay with it. But one thing that can happen is someone might ask, can I glomp you? Then you can be like, okay, brace myself. I know what's happening. Let me brace myself. And you're just basically letting the fan of the character that you're cosplaying be their enthusiastic self, but you know what's happening now. So, yeah, that's pretty much what that is. And then, so after this, I didn't put these two in the same thing, but this one also segues over, and that is the Glom Circle, and that is completely different, actually. Well, I mean, it's mostly different. It's not just a giant enthusiastic hugs. There's a lot more to it than that. So I am keeping it as its own separate category. So the Glom Circle usually will happen outside because it's usually a banned activity. Banned as in not allowed. It's a giant fire hazard because there's a lot of people in one large circle, and it's kind of like, if you think about at a concert, if you've ever seen those videos at concerts of like mosh pits or whatever, and a big circle opens up and everybody's moshing in the big circle part, which is, I don't know why I'm using that. I'm a metalhead. That's what I know. I don't know any other way to put that. But yeah, it's just a large circle, and everybody's expecting everything. Like, everybody knows what's going on. Usually people will make sure of what happens in these before they get involved. They'll talk to somebody or something, or they'll just watch it for a little while. They'll see what's happening and then get involved. I don't know, it's up to you. But what it is just a giant circle, like I said, but it's kind of like spin the bottle with hugs, but you're throwing the bottle. It's hard. I have to pretty much demonstrate it for you guys, but I can't do that. So what will happen is there will be a ton of mostly empty bottles. There'll usually be a little bit of liquid. So like this soda here, about that much liquid in the bottle, and it'll be like one of those cheapo dollar store water bottles. And there'll be like 5 or 6 of them or more, depending on how many people are there. And then someone will throw one up and like literally throw one up. That just fell down. And then it'll land on the ground just like that one did. And whoever it's pointing to, whoever the cap is pointing to, you go up, you give that person a hug, they go and repeat the cycle. That's basically the entirety of it. But there are a couple other games that people play, and I guess we can go over those. One is the Guess What game. This is normally used when you're announcing something important, like a birthday or something like that, or like someone's first time in the Glom Circle or something. That's normally when you would do that kind of stuff. Or if you're saying something funny, if you have a statement that's really funny or something, or in character that would be a laugh for people, that would get people, to react or whatever in a good way, then that's a good time to do that. And what you do is you yell, "Guess what?" Everybody else yells, what? And then you repeat that. So you do that twice, and then you say whatever it is that you want to say. So the next one on the list has to do with the invited guests to the convention, the special guests. Usually you will hear the word industry guest. This is really what this is talking about, is the industry guest version of guests. But there are also non-industry. So I'm going to explain what industry is, and then all of the rest are what non-industry are. All right, so industry guests are basically people who are in the industry of whatever it is that the convention is for. If it's an anime convention, usually they'll be like directors or voice actors or storyboard artists, things like that, that work on anime specifically. So it depends on what kind of convention it is. Comic book conventions, the industry guests will be comic writers, movie stars, things like that, people who work on the things that you're going there for. So let's move on to the final one, and that is the contest. There are two types of contests that people will enter, and those are the skit contest and the masquerade contest, or the cosplay contest. Well, it kind of sounds like they're both the same thing almost. When you say cosplay contest, you're kind of like, you'd think it's an acting contest, which is what a skit is. Nope, completely different. Well, some might actually say cosplay contest, as that's what the skit contest is. It depends on the convention. Read whatever the convention says. But in general, the cosplay contest is the construction judging contest. So you're being judged on the construction of your costume. You don't have to have made it, but whoever made it has to also be present usually. They're the ones who would win, and you're just a model. You're not allowed to enter with costumes that you didn't make and then, be ready to accept an award if you win. That's not allowed because you didn't make it. So whoever made the costume usually is the one who's wearing it. And then you'll go into the judges, they'll see what you've done, they'll look at all your work, and then they'll make a judgment off of that. All the winners are picked except for best in show, like whoever was awesome on stage or something, whoever did the coolest poses or something. Those are obviously not judged until you do them. But the judgment of your craftsmanship is usually done beforehand, and then everything on stage is just to show off. And they've already decided a winner, and everyone's just showing off just because it's fun. On the contrary, the skit contest is obviously what it sounds like. It's a contest of a bunch of people doing skits. If you don't know what a skit is, it's pretty much a small performance on stage where you're all acting out in some way, in one way or another. So you're going to be judged on things like performance and, audience engagement. Like if you were so good that the audience gave you a standing ovation or something, then obviously you're going to score some more points for that. Things like that. I don't really know. I don't do them. So Atlas and I are actually wanting to do them. We just don't yet. He does the masquerade, the walk-on one where you get judged for your craftsmanship. But I don't do that one because I don't care, because I kind of half-ass all my stuff, because it's not as big of a deal for me. And then I'm kind of lazy, so I get some of my stuff made by other people, so I wouldn't be able to enter those anyway. Alright, so that is it for this video. I hope this helps some of you guys who are out there who are just starting. Some of these words I didn't even know, and I had to look up or ask, so I would have loved to have a video like this when I was first starting. So again, I hope it helped you guys. So if you guys like this video, go ahead and hit that like button, maybe subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys later.